Welcome to our explainer from BioSpark Health. Today we're diving deeper into the ideas behind the metabolic revolution, a way of thinking about your health that honestly changes everything. So let me just start by asking you a question. Does this sound at all familiar? You feel like you're constantly running on empty. You're cold all the time. You've got that persistent brain fog you just can't seem to shake. And you've probably been doing all the things you're supposed to do, right? You followed the rules, eat less, move more, you're counting every calorie, you're hitting the gym, you're doing everything you've been told is the right thing. But here's the million-dollar question. Why doesn't it seem to be working? If that's the magic formula, why do so many of us still struggle with fatigue and weight gain and all of it? Well, it's because that whole eat less, move more idea is built on a foundation that's, well, it's just flawed. So let's get into it. This brings us to something we call the energy deficit paradox. It's a little counterintuitive, so stick with me. When you try to force an energy deficit by eating less, you could actually train your body to slow down, to produce less energy. And that, right there, is why you end up feeling worse, not better. See, the truth is, health isn't really about restriction at all. It's about energy. This quote says it all. Energy is the currency of life. Every single thing your body does, from thinking a thought to digesting your food, it costs energy. When you have a ton of that currency, your body can heal and thrive. But when you're in debt, systems start to shut down. It's that simple. So we need a better model. We have to stop thinking about the body like it's some kind of simple calculator. It's time to start seeing it for what it truly is, a highly sophisticated power plant. And this is where the bioenergetic view comes in. It's all about looking at health through the lens of energy production. It stops asking, how many calories did you burn, and starts asking a much better question. How much usable energy did your cells actually produce? So here's the fundamental shift in thinking. The old view is the body as a bank account. Calories in, calories out. Simple math. But that model is broken because your body is smart. It adapts. The bioenergetic view sees it as a power plant. And what's the goal of a power plant? It's not just to burn as much fuel as possible. It's to efficiently create clean, usable power. For our bodies, that power is ATP. That's what runs the whole show. Now, this right here is absolutely key. Energy and structure are tied together. When your internal power plant isn't getting enough fuel to produce energy, the body panics. It goes into survival mode and starts breaking down its own structure, your muscles, your tissues, for emergency fuel. And that breakdown, that is the degeneration and the symptoms we're all trying so hard to avoid. Okay, so if we're running a power plant, we have to talk about the quality of the fuel we're putting in it. And this means we've got to take on some of the biggest food myths out there. Let's start with public enemy number 1, shall we? Carbohydrates. For decades, we've been told they're the villain, blamed for just about everything. But what if that's not really the true story? This quote just gets right to the heart of it. The problem isn't the sugar. The problem is a broken metabolism that can't use the sugar efficiently anymore. Blaming the sugar is like blaming water for a flood when all your drains are clogged. The issue isn't the water, it's the clog. The reality is, when your metabolism is working well, carbohydrates from good sources like fruit, honey, and even root vegetables are the cleanest burning, most efficient fuel for your cells. They help lower your stress hormones like cortisol, and they're absolutely essential for your thyroid, which is basically the master thermostat for your entire metabolic rate. And then there are fats, because the type of fat you eat is critical. You've got these unstable polyunsaturated fats, or PUFAs, from industrial vegetable oils. They're fragile. They oxidize and basically go rancid inside your body, gumming up the works and putting the brakes on your metabolism. On the flip side, you have stable saturated fats from things like butter, coconut oil, and animal fats. These are the good guys. They're the literal building blocks for your hormones and healthy cells. But look, it's not just about fuel. We have to talk about the biggest energy thief of them all, chronic stress. It creates a constant hormonal tug-of-war inside you. I want you to picture your hormones on a seesaw, a metabolic seesaw. And depending on which side is up, your body is either building itself up or it's breaking itself down. On one side of that seesaw, you have your stress axis, cortisol and adrenaline. They're the emergency response team. They kick in when you're undereating or overexercising, but they get their energy by tearing down your tissues. It's a survival tactic, but it's destructive long term. Now, on the other side, you have your metabolic axis, your thyroid and progesterone. These are your builders. They raise your metabolic rate and support everything that keeps you healthy and strong. A well-fueled, low-stress body lives on this side of the seesaw. And this is where exercise fits in. Yes, exercise is a stress. In the right dose, it's a good stress. It makes you stronger. But the whole more is better mindset, that's where things go wrong. Too much exercise just becomes another huge stressor, jacking up cortisol and pushing your body onto the destructive side of that seesaw. It's why so many people hit a wall or even gain weight despite spending hours at the gym. So, what's the solution? How do we get off that stress seesaw and start refueling our power plant? The whole philosophy can really be boiled down to 2 words. Nourish, don't punish. It really starts with 3 foundational shifts. First, eat for energy and warmth. Eat regular, balanced meals that keep your metabolic fire burning. Second, move your body to feel strong and vital, not to punish it for what you ate. And third, and this one is so important, you have to make deep rest and recovery a non-negotiable. That's when the magic of healing actually happens. Ultimately, this is not about swapping one set of strict rules for another. It's about creating the right conditions inside your body, an environment with plenty of energy and very little stress, so that your body's own incredible intelligence can take over and do its thing. Why does this matter? Because a well-fueled, high-energy body is a resilient body. It can find its own balance. So I'll leave you with this final thought to really think about. For years, you might have felt like you're at war with your body, trying to punish it and restrict it and force it to change. But what if you took a totally different approach? What if you realized your body isn't broken? What if it's just been underfueled this whole time? Shifting your focus from fighting your body to finally fueling it, well, that could be the most powerful and revolutionary change you ever make.